Hello, David. Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Francis.
How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Final day of the week, so it feels good. How are
Mhm.
you?
And also, final day of I think, of the course itself as a formal course, and we are very close to the finishing line. I'm good. Yes, busy still. Uh, Not a great summertime yet. Hopefully, I will have some good time
Mm.
soon. So, what do we have today? Let me bring up the agenda. So, we are in the week 4, and next week is our basically presentation week, and also some peer reviews will be done. Uh, the presentations will be when on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. There are slots published already on the calendar, and I saw this morning 19 slots are booked. That means we are having like around 20 higher grade projects, but I guess there are more to come in August.
Mm. Yeah,
Right.
because I think we have way more than 19 actually signed up for higher grades.
Mhm.
So there might be students that initially aimed for higher grade, but then decided to not do it due to time constraints. And then, like you said, there might be students that do that in the fall instead.
Yeah. And I also received some messages that they aimed for higher grade, and if they want to go for the presentation in August, will it impact their aim, or will they still be considered for higher grade and so on? But I said there is no problem. If you have issues in creating the report or finishing out of the projects and so on, you can still present in the August session, but you will not lose your position. So you will still be considered for higher grade. So on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, basically we will have our conference on Canvas. It's a big blue button conference tool that Canvas provide. I think I also invited all the course members to join. So if you want to join the conference, um, feel free to join and look at the presentations. And the link is shared here, but we will also share the link before the presentations or during the presentations so that we have some audience. This is the first time we are also doing presentations on Canvas. So uh, we are making more use of Canvas this year. In the last 2 years, we used Zoom and then StreamYard, but that did not work very well. I guess Canvas will make it more simplified. Then next week we also have peer reviews. Peer review is the essential part of the course. So anybody who will not do the peer review will not receive their grade. This is plain and simple. But we will assign the peer reviews or which report you will review after the deadline. That is after Monday midnight next week, early next week. And each of the students need to review exactly 3 reports, meaning that unless you are done with the 3 reports, you will also not get your grades. But usually there is no problem with this, and we also saw that students find it interesting and useful to review others' reports. And there is, I think, a rubric published on Canvas that Frederick already mentioned. It's a point-based system. Let me zoom it a little bit, which is based on a total of 27 points. So usually higher grade projects, they get all of these 27 points because they basically do all the parts that are required for higher projects, higher grade projects. But this point might vary for other students a lot. And basically, during the peer review, you go through each of those rubrics and you give points, either yes, no, or how many points you want to give for that report. Someone said, I think in the Discord, that the link is not accessible, but probably you haven't accessed the for the link or for the rubrics. Okay, for the rubrics, I don't think why. Maybe it's not published yet, but we will see. Usually, when you submit the report and when we assign the assign the reports for review, you will be able to see the rubrics by itself. But I will see if there is any problem in accessing the rubrics. It's a straightforward and simple point based, and it's very well defined, so you should not have any problem in understanding the rubrics. The deadline for the peer reviews will be on Thursday midnight. So next Friday basically our wrap up day for the course. So we will meet possibly all the teachers who was part of this course, and we will have our closing session. But before the Friday, we have to finish. You have to finish the quizzes. You have to finish the peer review, and of course, you have to submit your report and present the report if you are registered for higher grade. So that's about peer review. I guess today we will have a very short, informative session since we have nothing much to discuss. But David have some more information to share. Then I will come to the quiz part. What we found that there was 235 participants for the quiz 1. So that is probably our base numbers. So we are expecting a number close to this who will be submitting their final reports. Quiz 2 was done by 205 participants. That means around 20 to 30 participants are still missing quiz 2. Similarly, quiz 3 and quiz 4 are still missing a lot by many. And as I mentioned, before the end of the course, that is before Thursday, you have to finish all the quizzes if you want to receive a grade. I will check for the deadlines of the quizzes. Probably some of them are not consistent to each other, but I will check and set the deadlines for all the quiz on next week, Thursday. So make sure that you finished or at least passed the quizzes, all the 4 quizzes, if you want to receive the grade before the summer holidays. I think some people already started submitting their final report, but students who are still working on their report and wants to hand in their report in the coming days, that is on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And if you are not familiar or still haven't looked at the tutorial template, I would suggest for you to go through this template and see how to write your report. The template is self-explanatory, so it should not be also a problem to follow the template. All you need to do is start from here and then fill in the places that you are required to in order to have the minimum report, that is to get a C grade. But then in the template, you will find that different parts are for different groups of the grade. So grade A have some more parts to fill in than grade B, and so on. So grade B has some more parts to fill in than grade C, and so on. So look at this template if you haven't still look at, and feel free to ask questions if you have on the template also.
I also need to add something to the report. So for those of you that only had a PyCom device, so for example a PyPy and a PySense expansion board, and you just mount it on top of the expansion board, those that have this setup, so no wiring and no other things, you don't have to do circuit diagrams. Because it's just mention that you have connected the way you have, maybe link to a picture that shows how it's connected, and that's sufficient enough.
Yeah, I mean, for simple projects, it doesn't also make sense to make things complex. So yeah, that's a good addition, David. And there was a question also again on Discord, when we will get the reports for the peer review. So as I mentioned, you will get it after the submission deadline, that is after Monday midnight, or probably early morning on Tuesday. So you will have basically around 4 days, not 4 days, 3 days to finish your peer reviews, and you have maximum 3 reports. So it should not take ideally more than 3 hours if you just go through the reports and follow the rubric. Another question, I think, David, you have this answer.
Yeah, for drawing circuit diagrams, you can use fritzing. I wrote it in the live lecture question chat. So fritzing, if you want to model your setup and use the software for that, then we recommend using fritzing. It's quite easy, and for those of you that will download fritzing, you will find out that the PyCom devices are they cannot be found in the fritzing repository. So what you could do is to go to our GitHub page. In the sensor examples, you will find some connection schemas, and in those schemas you will find the PyCom devices. So currently you can find a PySense version 2, expansion board 3.0, and then a PyPy.
And I guess there is a Discord channel also, right, on fritzing?
Yeah, that's correct. So on Discord also we have, under the fritzing text channel, we also have all these models. I think Muhammad linked all of them. Yeah.
Okay, and then I want to repeat again about the second attempt. Although we mentioned again and again that you should be ideally finishing your final project and tutorial submission by July or first week of July, but in some difficulties, if you cannot finish the submission or the report, and there will be a second chance in August, around probably mid-August. But again, if you are submitting, or if you are planning to postpone your submission, you will not lose your aimed grade. So if you are in the higher group, you will still receive higher grade if you do things properly. Is there any more questions? I saw there was a question.
Will the tutorials and materials continue to be available after the course ends? Yes. So everything you have, the Discord will remain as is. The tutorials, you might see some updates to the tutorials, but not anytime soon. So probably before the course starts next year, we will be doing some updates. But yeah, it's gonna stay as is. Nothing will. I'm not sure about the Canvas page, but I'm thinking Discord-wise, we do have basically most of the material that you need the roadmap is there. We have all the tutorials linked. Previous conversations with students are there. So yeah, we will not be removing anything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And there was a question also about peer reviews. So will it be in Canvas or not? So yes, all the peer reviews, the gradings and so on, they are they will be on Canvas. So everything is automated. You don't have to do any manual things. On the Canvas, students will submit their HackMD link or any other link. You just go to that report and follow the rubrics. That's it. It's a bit of straightforward. And I think the last part of this session, there's some statistics David wanted to talk about, right?
Yeah. So this is actually kind of interesting. So we can maybe start. I don't know how to add it to the.
Yeah, I just
There we
added.
go. Yeah. So basically here we can see from the course actually started 6th of June. But here we can see how the number of members increases as the times goes on. We can see that even before the course started, we started to get some members in, and then it continued, increasing basically. So at the moment we're at around 1,000 members. And if we scroll down a little here, we can see some top lists. So the left one is a top members list message wise. So how many messages were sent during this period, and here we can see top 3. I think that actually the first 2 are students, and then we have Hamed as the third one. But we'll go through a more extensive list of.
Are you on the top 10 list?
No, I'm. We're gonna see soon. No, I'm not. Not this. I don't think I was that last year either. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But then here on the right side we have the questions and answers channel. Here we had more than 2,600 messages, and then we have this workshop admin. This probably most of you haven't seen this, but you can see how much is actually going on behind the scenes. So what you see are workshops and TA jumping into workshops, but actually behind the scenes, all the TAs, we constantly communicate to each other, ask each other for help. Sometimes when I'm helping a student and I feel like, okay, what the problem that the students needs help with, I'm not very knowledgeable in that area. So yeah, we use the workshop admin chat to call on other TAs, ask if someone else is familiar with the problem. So actually there is quite a lot of communication going on even during those workshop sessions and one-to-one help sessions. So yeah, this was that. And then if we go, so this was the messages statistics. Now if we go down to voice, here we can see the top members list. So top 3 for those who spent most time in Discord channels. Here we can see all 3 are actually TAs. Again, we're gonna see the more verbose list just in a few minutes. But here we can see how many minutes they actually spent in voice channels on Discord. And then here we can see the total number of minutes everyone spent in these channels. And here we can see that the workshop, I'm not sure exactly how many hours these are. If I would guess, I think that would be like 600-700 hours.
Yeah, 500.
Yeah. So it's a quite a large number. So yeah, this is what we actually put into this course, all of us. So if we go to the messages, here we can see those spikes. Now these curves or the pattern that we see, this is obviously workshops. So when we have workshops, we do type a lot. For example, when we're helping or we're doing a walkthrough, we often need to link to a number of things, if it's a tutorial, if it's a code snippet, and so on. So here we can see the frequency of the messages. And yeah, here, for example, we had the June 14th, we had almost, 300 messages that day. And now if we scroll down here, we can see a top 10. Actually, this list goes on, but here we can see the first two are actually students. And then we have some TAs. And then we have Frederick. I think this is Florian from Toit. And then again, some TAs. And here we can see, some students ranking up again in the ladder. So a lot of messages. And here, if we scroll down, we can see also the channels. So in which channels were the most active. And here we can see the questions and answers channel was quite busy. And then here in the second place, we have the workshop admin. So you can see kind of how much is going on behind the scenes. And then we have Windows, Workshop, PyCon, PySense. And yeah, here you can see the rest of the list. I think Get Help, that's voice-wise. We'll get to that. But yeah, I noticed that Get Help 8 was like topping the list in the voice. So let's go over to voice, and here we can see the minutes spent by members in the voice channels in total. So here we have, the first four are actually TAs, and then we have a student, TA. No, actually, this is a student, and then here we have students. So you can see that this, I think this one is like 100 hours, something. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. So we especially in the beginning, we had situations where we had to sit even after the workshop session to continue helping. Some walkthroughs we didn't manage to do them in exactly 2 hours because we had the first hour usually went for questions and answers, and then by the time we could start the actual walkthrough, we only had 1 hour, and then we had to often many times extend and sit some extra minutes to finish the walkthrough. So yeah. And then here we can see the number of minutes that all of us spent in these different voice channels. So we can see obviously the workshop channel here. Most of us spent many hours. And then we have the AFK channel, and then the Get Help channels. Yeah. And then if we go to, I'm not sure about status. Yeah, here we can basically see the times people were online and offline. But yeah, an overview or member drill down, I think. Yeah, this is the overview and so if we go to, if we look at the messages, we had a day around 11 messages a day. And then I think this is this is incorrect. Let's do this. Now it's from 1st of June. We had 20 messages a day. And then as to voice here, the minutes spent on average, yeah, more than 2 hours a day.
No, this is for David.
Yeah, this is really. No, it's not. I don't do 20.
Yeah, because it shows your picture here.
Yeah. Here, I think it's if we do. This is just the correct the things I created.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but these were the overall statistics of Discord.
Yeah.
And yeah, here you get a sense of how much time you actually put on the course, activity wise. And of course there is this time when either writing reports, tutorials, which is obviously not recorded here, but yeah, this is at least the Discord activity is recorded.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing this data.
Yeah.
And I guess there will be some there will be an executive summary next week when we will be closing our course. So
Yeah.
this is probably not the last or latest data that we will have next week. So next week things might change a little bit more.
Mm. Now
And
just go in and AFK in channels to get more minutes.
yeah, so I don't have anything to share right now, and I don't see any more questions on Discord either. Do you have anything to say about workshops or?
No, but if anyone still needs help, feel free to ping. But from now on, you're supposed to do most of the things on your own. So the TAs, their duty is they had their duty was until yesterday to help. So you can still ping, and if you also see your peer pinging and you know that you could help, please do. So help shouldn't always come from a TA. It can also come from your peers. So
Yeah, and this year probably we have less participation from the actual student helping others. Last year we got more students who helped others, right?
yeah, we had this student support role on Discord where students that felt that they could help actually did. This year it might have been a little just due to the number of hardware that we had, so probably not. But I think if students get started with the hardware, like get to actually tinker with the hardware in time, that will give them more experience. So in the later week, when another student asks about an issue that, for example, me might have approached myself or stumbled on myself, I would be able to help. So I think it was a combination of hardware.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the reason probably also students are finishing their projects kind of late this year. Last year, some students finished their projects even more earlier because they all got their hardware and there was no block on their way and so on. So lessons learned this year. But yeah, I forgot to mention Happy Canada Day, everyone. Today is Canada Day, so
Yeah.
so we should celebrate.
He has the Canadian flag written outside his office.
Yeah, and yeah, unfortunately, I'm working. So
yeah.
with this, have a nice weekend, everyone, and see you on Monday for the presentations.
Yeah. Have a nice weekend.
Have it. Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye bye.